Welcome back to Freshly Charged, guys, where we have GOTRAX's biggest e-bike that they have offering, the GOTRAX Tundra. This is a 26x4-inch fat tire e-bike with speeds up to 28 miles per hour. And one thing I've noticed at GOTRAX is they source bikes that are already popular, increase the specs, and lower the price. So let's check out the Tundra and see what it's all about. In this tool set, we have a belt, a tool, metal pedals, a wrench for the tire, instruction manuals, and a charger. This charger is a 54.6 volt, 3 amp output. This is a 20 amp hour battery, so this should take you slightly under 7 hours to charge from empty to full. Yeah, setup was a breeze. We just had to install the handlebars, put on the front tire and the fender, but overall it didn't take too long at all. Let's go ahead and start with the walkthrough. We've got hydraulic brake levers, GOTRAX branded handlebar grips, 7-speed Shimano shifter, color display, nice bell, thumb throttle on the left side with another zoom hydraulic brake lever. You also have a nice front-facing light where you can adjust the angle. Moving down the front side, you have coil suspension with lockout and adjustable preload, metal fender, 26x4-inch Shaoyang tire with hippo skin, so it's puncture resistant, 180mm brake disc with 2-piston zoom hydraulic brakes. To get out the battery, you have these nice laser cut keys. You twist the key, turn this all the way, and it slides right out. 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery, 960 watt hours. It does have an indicator to show you your charge. And one other thing about GOTRAX is all their scooters and e-bikes are UL rated, so you don't have to worry about lithium fires. One of the best features about this bike is it has a torque sensor, so it's based off of your pedal pressure and not off of the cadence, so you don't get that runoff or that surge of power when you go to pedal. Adjustable seat post, integrated rear lights. These things are amazing. They actually light up when you go to brake, and when you have the lights on, they're always constantly on. You have a chain guard to prevent the chain from slapping down on the paint job. Shimano tourney derailleur with derailleur guard. 7-speed cassette with the 750 watt Bafang motor. Another 26x4-inch Shaoyang hippo skin tire. Metal fender. On this side, we have a 180mm brake disc with 2-piston zoom hydraulic brakes. You also have a quick disconnect for easy tire changes. We're pretty excited to get this outside and test it out. So we're gonna get this thing freshly charged, take it for a spin, tell you what we love about it, what we hate about it, and should you buy the GOTRAX Tundra.
We've got the GOTRAX Tundra out and about. We're taking it on roads, we're taking it off roads, and we are having a blast. Andrew, what are your first impressions right now?
I thought it was going to be very similar to the Aventon Aventure since it looks like it, but there's some features on it that really stand out and make it different.
And we're going to talk about those features that set this apart from the Aventon Aventure and from basically all the other e-bikes we've ever tested. We're going to keep riding. At our next stop, we're going to talk about what we love about this bad boy. Okay, as we've been riding this, we have to tell you about this unique torque sensor. We've never felt anything like this before.
1 through 4, it acts just like a regular torque sensor, but a lot of people have issues with torque sensors not being able to get up to speed super fast, and that's where they've solved it with pedal assist level 5 on this bike. Pedal assist level 5 feels just like a cadence sensor, takes very low pressure into the pedals, and you can get going up to 28 pretty quick.
So pretty impressive. The advantage to torque sensor is it feels really natural. Cadence sensors, it's an all or nothing when you pedal into your bike, and it can feel a little herky-jerky. With this, you get the nice smooth sensation with the torque sensor, especially 1 through 4. And then if you want to relax a bit but still want to hit that top speed, put it in pedal assist 5, and the torque sensor will initially just give you that boost. It's pretty awesome. We are out here enjoying this beautiful park. Couldn't do it without an e-bike like this. It looks very similar to the Aventon that we've reviewed in the past, but we're going to talk about the differences and why we love this bike.
One of the biggest differences is the size of the battery. This thing is a third bigger than the Aventon Aventure, and it also gets you a third more of the range. And it comes in at about $400 cheaper than the Aventon Aventure. Makes it a sweet deal. Pretty much what I've actually gained from my experience of riding this is it's a torque sensor 1 through 5. They've just programmed pedal assist level 5 to be easier so it doesn't take as much pressure to get it up to speed. I don't know why other e-bike companies aren't doing it, but I'm loving it because if I want to work out, I turn it in pedal assist 1 through 4. If I just want to go as fast as I can, pedal assist 5 is my solution for that.
And then the bike comes with everything you expect and you enjoy from the Aventon bike, and that is a great looking aggressive fat tire bike that has really nice clean welds. Some of the clean cleanest welds in the game at this price point. Also, having the brake lights integrated into the frame, super cool.
One thing I do love about this bike over the Aventon Adventure is the front suspension. A lot of them use Zoom coil suspension. It's really easy to bottom out. It's really loud. You hear a loud boing noise when you're going on and off of curbs, but with this suspension, it feels more rock solid. It's still coil suspension, but it feels like it's rated for a heavier rider like myself.
The cable wrap looks nice and clean. They've managed to get it down to 2 large wraps and still give you easy access to the quick disconnects.
One of my favorite things that they swapped out on this bike compared to the Aventon Adventure is going to be the Shaoyang Hipposkin tires. These are puncture resistant, and Shaoyang tires are a softer compound than the CST BFT tires that we normally find on fat tire e-bikes. So these grip better and they stop better with the hydraulic brakes.
Having our recent experience of 3 flat tires in just one day, you definitely want something puncture resistant in an e-bike like this. And if you do end up with a flat, or if you want to prevent flats, check out our friends over at Armadillos. They make a great product.
This front light, it's smaller than a lot of the competitors' front light, but it's surprisingly bright. A lot of other e-bike manufacturers are selling this oversized light that has really crummy LEDs in it. This one, although it's small, it's very mighty. The one thing I also love about this is the color display. It looks really crisp, easy to read in direct sunlight, even with polarized sunglasses on.
This has a UL certified battery. You want to look for that because you want to avoid cheap Chinese batteries that run the risk of battery fires. My favorite thing with this bike is the great price. This bike is better than the Aventon that we've reviewed in the past, and it comes in at a lower price. And on top of that, around the holiday times, they will have great sales for this. If you want to buy this during a time when they're not having a sale, use our coupon code. We are going to keep riding. At our next stop, we're going to talk about what we don't like about this bike. All right, we're gonna do a brake test here. Andrew's gonna come down at 20 miles an hour and stop. We'll see how long it takes him to do so. So you stopped right here.
This is also another reason why I prefer nut hydraulic brakes to Zoom hydraulic brakes. I feel like I would have gotten a little bit better stopping power than 22 feet to stop from 20 miles per hour to 0.
Okay, let's talk about what we don't like about the Tundra.
Probably my biggest gripe is that it uses a Shimano turning derailleur, which is pretty much like all budget e-bikes, but since this is more designed for a little bit more off-roading, I would have liked for them to at least upgrade it to an Altus or a Serra derailleur.
And for me, we've been relating this a lot to the Aventon bikes. It looks very similar. One of the differences that this is missing though is the Bluetooth app. And so if you're a techie and you like to connect to your e-bikes with your app and be able to customize your ride and your experience that way, you're not gonna be able to do it with this.
If you're trying to take a tight turn and your pedal's low, a lot of times you're gonna scrape. It could lead to a dangerous situation, so you just wanna make sure that when you're taking tight turns, try to bring your pedals up rather than having one up and one down. So I mentioned earlier that this has Zoom hydraulic brakes that have been working well for us right now, but I have seen other people receive this bike with nut hydraulic brakes, which I prefer. So there's not a consistency on there. You may get one or the other. So just know that if you're expecting this to have nut brakes, it may come with Zoom brakes. And then another thing in the rear that is kind of annoying is how loud the Bafang motor is. So just know that if you're looking for a whisper quiet, stealthy bike, the GOTRAX Tundra is not it. I would like for them to offer different sizes than just one. They do offer this in a step through and a step over, but only one size for each model.
And then the color options are also limited. The 2 color options are nice, there just aren't very many color options. Those are the things that we don't like about the Tundra. We're gonna keep riding, and while we ride, we're gonna answer the question, should you buy the Tundra? So we're coming up to some loose gravel here. My EUC was getting a little squirrely. Andrew, how do the fat tires handle on this loose gravel?
Oh, they were great. That's what I love about big, fat, knobby tires. Loose gravel is no match for them.
Andrew, who should buy the GOTRAX Tundra?
If you've been looking at an all-terrain e-bike with fat tires that has a pretty large battery on it, you'll definitely want to check out the Tundra, simply because it's got one of the biggest batteries we know of, comes in at a lower price, and has that unique torque sensor that we've never seen before on an e-bike.
Check out our full written review at freshlycharged.com. Thanks for watching. When you guys ride, wear your safety gear.